Peace. It's Equalityfragrances coming to you from PG County, Maryland. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, a thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher is peace. For all those returning to my channel, I humbly appreciate your support. For all those new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop some new videos. With that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. So today, I'm not doing a fragrance review. I'm going to probably title this, Are You Buying with a Purpose? This might not be a video for those who have already traveled down the dark road of fragrance collecting, or it might help them or give them something to think about going forward as they progress. This is mostly for those who are sitting around on YouTube who have now learned to enjoy this thing we call a hobby and are trying to build and or start a collection. So I say, are you buying with a purpose? So there's a lot of things I looked at and I've had on my mind now. It goes from compliments to best club bangers to how to get the most girls. And we get a numerous of these top 10 lists that as a fragrance connoisseur or a fan of fragrances, you look at these videos and you want to get everything that somebody says. So I asked, are you buying with a purpose? My number one advice would be buy things that you love, not like. What do I mean by that? Sometimes when you're starting in this game, you can get into stuff because you're trying to do what my parents would use the term back in the days, which is keep up with the Joneses. Are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? Going into Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Ross to pick up stuff just to say that you have 20 or 30 fragrances so you can post it online and can impress other men and or women. When the fragrance community is already small, will become taxing and daunting as you go forth within your collection, and you will learn and realize through wisdom that that is absolutely and utterly stupid. Picking up stuff just because it's $50 or $40 when it's normally $100, when you could have took 2 bottles of that and got $100 bottle of something that you actually love, would make way more sense. Goes into my next thing, decanting and having decants. Might be, for those who want to have a lot of fragrances, decanting and having decants is the best way to go. You really do not need 100 ml of anything. Listen up. I'm gonna put some real bars out here because I'm a fragrance reviewer. I'm not a salesman. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'll post a video based on things I have within my collection, and I'll give you my experience wearing the things within my collection. I'm never going to tell you to go out and you need to buy what I own. Now, if you're interested in buying what I own and my video based on my life with that fragrance helps you, then awesome. That's a good deal because you learned something about a fragrance you was curious about. But for me to sell you anything, I'm not selling you nothing. I'm not going to tell you you have to buy anything. I don't ever plan on doing that. I'll give you my experience. You'll make the choice if you want to buy it or not. But having 100 mLs or 20, 30 ml, 30, 40, 100 of 100 mLs makes no sense. And I was sitting around doing some math, and this is why I say that. So I sit down and did some math. Per every 1 ml, you should get about 10 sprays per every 1 ml. To be honest, you'll probably get about 13 to 14 per 1 ml when you measure it out. For somebody who's decanted before, which I have, you typically get like 13, maybe 14 sprays, give or take. But let's just go on the low end. 10 sprays per 1 ml. So if you have 100 ml bottle, it's gonna take 1,000 sprays to empty that 100 ml bottle. So think about that. 1,000 sprays to kill 100 ml bottle. On average, especially if you're talking about a winter fragrance, let me just do on the high end, you're probably only putting 6 sprays on skin, give or take, depending on the fragrance. Because if you have something like Dior Home Cologne, that thing is in beautifully and gone within 4 hours. So you might put 12 sprays throughout the day or more on skin, or lather yourself in that, because it just doesn't last. But let's just say on average, you put 6 sprays on a day. Like if you got something like red tobacco, you put 6 sprays on, you're a maniac or an ass clown, one or the other. So, or you're really thirsty and dying for attention. So you put 6 sprays on a day. To go through 100 ml bottle, which is 1,000 sprays, will take you 167 days. It's 166.6, but let's round off to 167 days. It'll take you to finish 100 ml bottle, doing 6 sprays a day. So let's go forward. If you have 10, so you know that 167 days it'll take you to go through 100 ml bottle. If you have 10, so you've been to Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Fragrantica, or whatever, and you bought 10 100 ml bottles, that's going to take you 1,670 days to complete that. That's, when you do the math on years, that's 4.5 years per every 100, for every 10 100 ml bottles. 4.5 years. So if you have 10 100 ml bottles and you buy nothing else, it's going to take you 4.5 years to do it. So if you have 20, that's what, 9 years. 8, 5, that's 9 years. If you have only 20 100 ml bottles, that's going to take you 9 years. Now let's talk about people, and I fall victim to this, so I'm also talking about myself. Having 200 bottles of 100 ml. Exactly how long is that going to take you to go through? You never will complete that task. It will last your lifetime. And I'm being generous on how many sprays and how many sprays it takes to go through 100 ml. That's crazy. So if you're not decanting, if you don't plan on starting a YouTube and doing reviewing, and don't plan on doing a lot of giveaways, which I'm probably going to start doing more giveaways, like 5 ml decants and here and there. Giveaways, it makes utterly no sense. You're holding on to money in your closet. And it reminds me of, I've also been a sneakerhead, and I still am. I love Jordans. I do. I have a closet full of Jordans. I can't only wear one pair of shoes at a time. That's a lot of money sitting in the closet, which is fine, which is why I also have the theory that my family and my loved ones know that one of my favorite words is flash sale. In the event that something happened to me, you'll never see a GoFundMe open up. Why? Because I have thousands and thousands of dollars between shoes and fragrances within my collection sitting in my closet. Sell it. You probably keep one or two for my memory because you want to, smell me. Okay, keep a couple of favorites to yourself. But when you break down a collection, when I have something like a bottle of Annie, I have 100 ml of Annie, for example. That's a $300 bottle fragrance. In the event that you needed a quick 150, if you went into a Facebook group and you said, I'm selling 100 ml of Annie for $150, it'll be gone in 0.2 seconds. So you made $150 like that. Multiply that times 200. Of course, you got some $40 stuff, some stuff that depreciated over time. But when you start doing the math of what you have in your collection, especially if you have a lot of niche fragrances within your collection, that's money sitting around. You're never going to go through it within your lifetime. You're just not going to do it. So that leads me into my other thing, like the most compliments and complimented lists. Yes, you can get compliments on fragrances, but if I was a betting man, which I am, part of that compliments is how are you put together? What your shoes looking like? What your pants looking like? Is your clothing formed to fit? Do you have cavities or you don't have cavities? Does your breath stink? Do you have a haircut? Do you have a shape up? Is your beard shaped? Do you have a smile? Do you look mean? Are you introvert, extrovert? There's too many things that go into compliments. To say that this fragrance is going to get you laid is not only a loser mentality, but you're an ass clown. Period. I'm going to keep it a whole buck. If you're walking through life thinking that because you put on Creed Aventus is going to get you laid, your quality of women or men that you into is extremely low. You're better off going on Backpage, spending less stripper ones for the $40 trip. You'll save more money that way. It's just not going to happen. Your quality of person that is going to give you some based on the fact that you smell like pineapple is a low quality human individual. Secondly, how can somebody, if I don't go to clubs and I don't frequent clubs a lot, how can I truly tell you what are the best club scents? Can I truly give you that? I don't know. If I'm not a banker, can I give you banker information? I would probably say no. If I am not an attractive man or woman, and I'm sitting around telling you what's going to get you laid, but I look like I haven't had none in years or multiple in years, is that really working for you? How's that working out for you? That's the question, right? It's almost like somebody trying to sell you into some Amway, right? Somebody try to say, hey, get this green tea, get this quick waste green tea, it'll help you lose 30 pounds. But they're 400 pounds and obese. You ask yourself, well, how is that working out for you? Because it seems like it's not working. So you have to take that in consideration when somebody says compliments, which is why if I ever bring up compliments on a video, I'm telling you this is what I receive. You may get zero. If you're following me, the expectation that you will get a compliment because I got one should be 0%. You're going to get one, and I would bet you will get compliments just because of being who you are. Whether you're a welcoming person, whether you're kind, gentle, inviting personality. If you're not any of those things, it's not going to happen. If you're the type, like most fragrance heads who want to have a different collection and wear different things, that's fine. But do you really need 100 ml bottles? Do you really need the bottles? I've never been at a bar or around the opposite sex and the conversation started like, hey, look at this video of my collection or pictures of my collection. Isn't that cool? the majority of people do not care how many fragrances you have. This is an eternal thing within the community. And even then, some of it looks nice, but it's kind of keeping up with the Joneses mentality, right? You want to try different things and you get caught up in, I need to have it because they have it, or I want to one-up them. Stay in your own lane, deal in your own lane, buy stuff that you love. And if you want to try something, I'm always going to tell you, always decant before you blind buy. Now, do what I say, not what I do. Because I blind buy a lot, but I get an opportunity to smell stuff, and based on me knowing what I like, sometimes I can read notes and pick out stuff that's going to be really, really, really good. But for me to have a whole bunch of bottles just to say, which is why, and this is no shot at any reviewer, I get the entertainment aspect of YouTube TV and having a backdrop, and that's cute, but I'm probably never, and I say probably because I don't know what the future holds, will ever have fragrances behind me on display. Why? Because I don't believe it automatically adds value to if I make sense or not. Because if I only have one fragrance and I'm an owner of one fragrance and I live with that fragrance, I'm qualified to talk about that one fragrance and how it transitions or performs on me. I'm purely qualified to do that. Now, of course, the more you smell, the more you get around, the more you experience things, your knowledge on things grow. This is true. This is absolutely true. But to me, it holds no value, to be honest. But that's just my humble opinion. Maybe it's entertaining for you and it helps you make a decision on if somebody's trustworthy or not based on that. So I don't want to rant too long, but I was in the gym, and when I'm in the gym is when I'm in my purest thoughts. I was thinking about starting doing lives, but all the time I'm in the gym, most people at work and they can't sit around and watch a live video, and I don't think I'm at the position people want to hear me hear my thoughts on too many things. But this is just a short piece of knowledge I want to give to anybody that's starting your fragrance journey. If you in your mind think you want to have a lot of different fragrances, just think about buying decants. Now, I know sometimes the price per ml will change your mind on that. What I mean by price per ml. If something costs $100 and you get 100 ml, that's $1 per ml. If something's $100 and it costs 50 mLs, that is $2 per ml. And you keep doing the math to $4 per. If it's $200 at a 50 ml, it's $4 per ml. You can do the math, right? It's just basic algebra math. And that comes into play that the more you buy, the larger ml, the better price per ml goes. But then ask yourself, are you going to really burn through any of that? Probably not. So I give you some wisdom to say, try not to keep up with the Joneses just so you can go into a fragrance group and show pictures to impress other people who don't know you. Do this journey for self. It's a personal journey. You shouldn't be in it for compliments, even though they may come and it's nice to have. Because if you go through life doing things for others, you will always be disappointed because you cannot please everybody. Some people might not like what I had to say in this video. Guess what? I don't care. I don't play politics, and I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm just not. If somebody has a problem with anything I said in this video, reach out. I'm not going to go back and forth with you on the internet. I can be seen in person. Or we can talk on the phone and we can hash it out if you don't like what I had to say. But with that being said, this is really for any new person who's getting into this fragrance game, who's watching my videos. This is just some insight. Buy with a purpose. Don't buy to buy, or you're going to go in your closet and you're going to realize that you have a whole bunch of stuff that you would never go through in your entire life. Again, something happened to me, my family know, flash sale. All of it got to go. Sell it. Get that money, because it's all money. And that's one thing I like about certain tennis shoes like Jordans. They hold some value, resale value, and fragrances hold resale or sell value. Even though you own it, you can still get a little bit for it, depending on, especially when you start getting a higher end, they hold a little bit more value that you can get for your buck. You can get a quick $100 like that. Like my Izzy Amber Nuit, I could probably get a quick $100 if I want to sell that today. I need $100, I can sell that. My Annie, if I want $100, I can sell that. Starlight Zerjoff, if I want like $150, I can get that quick. Couple seconds on PayPal or post, boom, it's gone. But buy with a purpose. Buy what you love. Of course, your moods or what you like will change over time, and that's okay. But then sell what you're not wearing. Just sell what you're not wearing. So that's my little bit of advice, some things that was on my mind, a quick rant. In the name of this video, are you buying with a purpose? Or are you trying to impress people and keep up with the Joneses? I'm not going to ever sell you on a fragrance, because I'm not a salesman. I'm a fragrance reviewer. And I'm only going to review things within my personal collection. I'm not going out and buying stuff just cause it's new or just cause I feel like I want to review it. I might get a sample of it, and I might get a free sample from Sephora or Nordstrom just to give you my take on a new fragrance, but me buying it just cause that's physically irresponsible. I'm not going to do it. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you, and that's in the universal language of peace.